Before I introduce our special guest today, I just want to take a minute to thank the other organizations that have helped organize this concert today. Green Teacher is a nonprofit organization that is focusing hard these days on helping to equip educators with ready-to-use tools for teaching about climate change and invasive species. They have some great books available to serve as educator toolkits, and we're going to send out an email after this concert with that information available.
Thanks, Colin.
We also have the Columbia Basin Environmental Education Network here with us today, and they are excited to launch their new outdoor learning store with equipment and resources like student rain jackets, backpacks made of recycled pop bottles, animal tracks and traces, scavenger hunt cards. Right now, these are available for classrooms in BC and will be available for classes across Canada in the new year. Again, we'll send out all of this information in a follow-up email in the next day or two. And Take Me Outside is a nonprofit organization for teachers that help advocate for outdoor learning across the country. We try to support teachers in schools to help make outdoor time a significant and regular part of every student's day, which is exactly why we're celebrating Take Me Outside Day tomorrow. But enough of me talking. We are here today to listen to the person I'm going to introduce. Remy Rodden is a teacher and biologist who cares deeply about the environment. He also happens to have an amazing voice, so he's combined his ability to write and sing songs with his passion for helping children learn about nature and has become an entertaining performer for audiences all over the world. I don't know whether you can clap your hands in your classroom, but at the very least, maybe you can snap your fingers. But please welcome Remy Rodden into your classroom.
How cool is that? Well, thank you. Merci beaucoup, Colin and Ian. Ian from Green Teacher and Colin from Take Me Outside Day. So, I just wanted to acknowledge that Colin is actually the founder of Take Me Outside, and we're celebrating 10 years of Take Me Outside. And so fabulous that there's so many people showing up to participate. So if you have the opportunity, why not type in the name of your school and where you're from, and if you can acknowledge the land of the traditional peoples of your area, that would be great. So right here, we're on the traditional territory of the Tahnquitchan Council and the Kwanlin. And so we acknowledge and are very proud and pleased to be on their territory today and broadcasting out to all you guys. So on va parler en français un petit peu. I know there were some requests. We'll sing one song later on, and might do a little bit of French here and there because it's a bilingual country. It's really important to learn the second official language and other languages, perhaps the First Nations language in your area, or Inuit or Métis. So this song that I'm going to do now is actually called What's That Habitat? Some of you might know this if you've seen me before perform. This is my big hit, went worldwide at one point, and it talks about habitat. What's that habitat? En français, c'est quoi l'habitat? And the four components of habitat, which you probably know already, are food, water, shelter, and space. And in French, nourriture, eau, abri, espace. So I would invite you, if you can, and you're socially distanced the way you're supposed to be in your school, to do some actions, and if you were able to sing along or sing after me. So food, and I think Ian, our host, is going to come up and help demonstrate this too. Food is patting your belly, and water is like this, shelter is like a house on top, and then space. You can see the space behind me here. That's a view from the extreme west part of Canada, right on the border with Alaska. So food, let's try that. And repeat after me if you're able to do that. And I'll just sort of whisper it to show you your part. Food, food, water, water, shelter, shelter, space. Excellent. Well, I hope you're all doing that out there. The other part for this is I will say, what's that? And if you can, go habitat. And then in French, c'est quoi l'habitat? Okay, let's try that. What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. And if you can sing and want to, you can do that part too. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Nice. Now, we did those symbols, and if you see me or hear me say food, water, shelter, space, or something that is one of those things, you can make your symbol too. Now, every living creature needs some space to roam. We all need some shelter we can call our home. We'll die without food and water, it's as simple as that. Well, you put it all together and it's called habitat. Nice, what's that? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Okay, we'll do that food, water, shelter, space. Are you ready? Here we go! And it's food, water, shelter, space. Food, water, shelter, space. Food, water, shelter, space. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Just think about that beaver, he's in water. Water, did you do your symbol? Water all the time. He stockpiles leaves and branches, that's food, all through the summertime. He stores them underwater, and in the winter he stays fat. 'Cause it's under the ice, outside his lodge, and that's his habitat. Nice. What's that habitat? What's that habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Food, water, shelter, space, here we go! Ready! And it's food, water, shelter, space, food. Water, shelter, space, food. Water, shelter, space. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Now the grizzly bear needs lots of space to find all the food she needs to feed herself and her cubs real well with fish from eating berries. She gets her water from the lakes and streams, and by the autumn she's so fat. She stays in her den, doesn't eat all winter, and that's her habitat. Okay, what's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? What's that habitat? C'est quoi l'habitat? Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Okay, we'll do it in French this time. Listen to me. Nourriture. Oh, abri, espace, nourriture. Oh, abri, espace, nourriture. Oh, abri, espace. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. One more time, encore une fois. Habitat, habitat is where it's at. Habitat. Nice. So great. Thank you very, very much. Well, you heard me sing in there about the beaver. And so the beaver is this guy right up here. Canada's national animal, national mammal anyway. And if you look closely, you'll see all those things that we talked about. Its food is the piles of wood and so on right here, wood, leaves and branches. There's its lodge, its shelter, and its water. It's in water, and then the whole space is that area around the pond that it builds. So I have this little song about beavers. It's called Proud to be a Beaver, all right? Chew, 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 that's what beavers do. We chew, slap your tail, shout out loud, I'm proud to be a beaver. No time to play, there's work to do, dams to build and logs to chew. Aspen wood tastes good, you know, tree coming down, look out below. Chew, 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 that's what beavers do. We chew, slap your tail, shout out loud, I'm proud to be a beaver. Under the ice we dive down low, our lodge is centered from below. It's warm and safe and dry in here, because we're skillful engineers. Chew, 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 that's what beavers do. We chew, slap your tail, shout out loud, I'm proud to be a beaver. Well, slap your tail, sound the alarm. Web feet swim away from harm. River otter likes to eat beaver snack and beaver meat. Oh, chew, 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 that's what beavers do. We chew, slap your tail, shout out loud, I'm proud to be a beaver. Are you ready? Chew, 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 that's what beavers do. We chew, slap your tail, shout out loud, I'm proud to be a beaver. Our waterproof fur and diving gear, plugs for the nose and plugs for the ears. We wear diving goggles too, you see we're built to swim and chew. Oh, chew, 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 that's what beavers do. We chew, slap your tail, shout out loud, I'm proud to be a beaver. I'm proud to be a beaver. I'm proud to be a beaver. Nice. All right. Well, another animal that lives in the water, un autre animal qui habite dans l'eau, you guys will probably guess it pretty quick. But it's an animal that is generally long and skinny, and it has scales, and it has this kind of slimy on the outside, and it's got fins, and it has a way of breathing underwater that uses these things on the side of its head that we call gills. Yeah, of course, it's a fish. So, fish, here's an example of the kind of salmon that we see here out in the Yukon River. That's just down the road from me. And this is a fun song about fish. I do apologize for me looking like I'm warping out in outer space or something, but having a bit of lighting trouble here right now, unfortunately. So in this song, there's two, maybe three things I'd like you to do, or I would invite you to do if you can, in your situation. One is when I go, why should we care about fish? You go, fish! Take your hand and go, fish! Let's try that now. 1, 2, 3, fish! Nice. And when at some point I'm going to sing like a fish, and you could sing along with me too. I'm going to sing in a kind of a funny way. Maybe you've got an idea of how a fish might sing if a fish could sing. And the third thing is that while we are doing the singing, I would invite you to make the gills of a fish like this. Why should we care about fish? Fish! All right. Now don't ever wish a world without fish, because they're slippy and slimy. Because each little fish has its own special niche in clear living waters and streams that are grimy. The fish is our neighbor, it could be our lunch. The fish is a creature I like a whole bunch. Fish deserve our respect. They're part of the web that keeps us all fed. One fish is another and then it's our dinner. They're pretty to look at, amazing to see on the road or up under a lake, stream, or river. They're absolutely fascinating. For adaptations, I give them a rating. Fish deserve our respect. And why should we care about fish? Fish, like everything in nature, they have a part to play. And why should we care about fish? Fish, they're fascinating creatures with extraordinary features. Well, once you get to know them, they're okay. Once you get to know them, you'll think they're great. They're sleek and they're slim, and so they can swim at incredible speeds through a dense liquid medium. And some fish will travel to spawn in like gravel from ocean to river. It's truly a marvel. They live under ice near sea that's way hotter. Fish are so cool they can breathe underwater. How do you guys do that? With the gills. Fish deserve our respect. And how can we care for our fish? Fish, like everything in nature, they have a part to play. And why should we care about fish? Fish, they're fascinating creatures with extraordinary features. Once you get to know them, they're okay. Once you get to know them, you'll think they're great. Okay, this is the part where I sing like a fish and get your gills up and sing along. Oh, you're doing your gills. Now don't ever wish a world without fish, because you don't understand them. 'Cause each little fish has its own special niche, and part of nature we mustn't abandon. We gotta have fish, the more the better. We'll make a big difference if we work together. Fish deserve our respect. And how can we care for our fish? Fish! By not using products that pollute the lakes and streams. And how can we care for our fish? Fish! Protect their habitat, no matter where it's at. Every little action is okay. Everything we do to help is great. Fish, sing like a fish. Get your gills up. Fish! Oh man, I can't see you or hear you, but I bet you're having fun out there. I sure hope you were anyway. The next song actually is going to be a YouTube video that I just posted the other day. It is a song called Please Take Us Outside, Teacher. And it was truly written to honor this whole idea of Take Me Outside Day and the idea of getting out of the classroom. And this is for you to sing along with. We love you, teacher, we love what you do. You help us to learn and to play. You show us cool stuff and you're fair and you're smart. We like to see you each day. If there's one thing we'd change though, and it's not all your fault, it's too much time spent inside school. There's a world to discover outside these walls. Being out there would be super cool. That you're busy and a bit overworked. Going out of the school seems a chore. But what if it turns out we are better behaved and learn more and faster outdoors? You may have your doubts, but we know that we'll thrive. The research shows clearly it's true. Being outside in nature makes us happy and smart. Please help us, we're counting on you. Like our tablets, our TV, our phones, but the outdoors is so much more fun. We can learn from the trees and the grass and the bugs, get vitamin D from the sun. So next time you're making your plans for our class, be as place-based as you can be. There's a world to discover outside these walls, so we ask you so respectfully. the song actually comes out officially tomorrow on all the streaming services, so you can listen to it on Apple Music and Spotify and all those kind of things. So this was, and the video you can watch another time and sing along with your class. So behind me you'll see an illustration of something you'll recognize probably as the water cycle. And this one is in French this particular time. And it's actually with regards to a song that was composed by myself and a teacher here in Whitehorse and the grade 2 class at Selkirk School. And it's going to be on my new album coming up, which is great. And if you can read those, I'm not sure if you can on your screens, but those are the words that work both in English and French, just pronounced a little bit differently. Evaporation, evaporation, condensation, condensation, precipitation, precipitation. That's the water cycle. Don't have more time to go into it, but you can talk about that in your class if you want. So this is a great little tune in French. And it's called L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. Water is our most beautiful gift. Suivant petite goutte sur son long voyage, elle tombe sur terre et les rivages. Sous la terre, elle nous nourrit. C'est pour cela qu'on a des pluies. Elle tombe du ciel et des nuages. Dans les fleuves, c'est le camouflage. À quoi sert cette précipitation? Pour nourrir les plantes et les poissons. L'eau est la vie c'est l'eau. L'homme, les plantes, les animaux. Tous les êtres ont besoin de l'eau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. You might sing along that chorus, at least the last little part, la dernière partie. Suivant petite goutte sur son long voyage, des ruisseaux jusqu'aux nuages, des nuages jusqu'à la terre, afin de retourner dans l'air. Faites attention au gaspillage, laissant l'eau à son voyage. Évaporation et condensation, c'est son cycle de transformation. L'eau est la vie c'est l'eau. L'homme, les plantes, les animaux. Tous les êtres ont besoin de l'eau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. Elle coule de nos yeux, contourne nos visages. Ce monde industriel cause de nombreux ravages. Ce problème sérieux nous cause de la peine. Faut être consciencieux, faut que le monde apprenne. Suive une petite goutte sur son long voyage, elle partagera son beau message. Faut simplement lui respecter, le garder propre et bien le traiter. L'eau est la vie c'est l'eau. L'homme, les plantes, les animaux. Tous les êtres ont besoin de l'eau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. Encore. L'eau est la vie c'est l'eau. L'homme, les plantes, les animaux. Tous les êtres ont besoin de l'eau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. L'eau est notre plus beau cadeau. Ça donne la vie et c'est vraiment beau. Well, merci tout le monde pour avoir écouté ça. Hope you sang a little bit along. Thanks so much for that. By the way, that if you want to see that song with some of the original composers of the song, the teacher and the kids, we have it on a video at what we call the Enviro Songsters Learning Channel. I've been collaborating with Peter Puffin, who some of you may know from Alberta, and we have a little group called the Enviro Songsters, and we put some of our songs up there along with some kids and adults singing in little boxes. It's quite fun. So Ian put it in the chat box, so you can go to that link, or just look up Enviro Songsters Learning Channel on YouTube. So the next song is Let's Get Drastic with Our Plastic. That's probably an environmental issue you've heard of before. You've probably heard of all the plastic in the ocean and maybe some of the waste around your community. National government's bringing in some laws to prevent some of that waste happening. But as usual, it's a lot of these things, it's about us taking our responsibility for reducing the amount of plastic we use in our daily lives, and maybe not ever taking stuff or reusing it if and many times. Try to not reduce the number of plastics that we're putting out there. And so this is called Let's Get Drastic with Our Plastic. And I would like you, when you hear the word plastic, and I say it a lot in the song, to go like this, like a big X, saying no plastic, big X, okay? Every time I say plastic, and that'll keep you busy, I think. And you can sing along. Always sing along if you want. Well, we've all heard of plastic in the ocean, a giant patch of garbage in the sea. There are piles of plastic at the recycling center, 'cause there's way too much to handle easily. We make far more plastic than we can deal with. Oh my, what are we to do? Use less plastic in our daily lives. What that means is reduce and refuse. Reduce, refuse. Let's get drastic with our plastic, 'cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Let your actions be enthusiastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Now, plastic is a most amazing product. It comes from oil in the ground. We can mold it into any sort of shape and size. It takes a really long time to break down. But when it degrades, the tiny little pieces get into the water, land, and air. These microplastics will be here forever. One more reason we should care. Let's get drastic with our plastic, 'cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Let your actions be enthusiastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Now, plastic is a very useful thing, oh yeah. We see it around us every day. But too much plastic creates a lot of problems. Together we've got to find a way to make it better. We can all do our part to reduce and rethink and make a change. Use less plastic and find alternatives. Encourage our friends to do the same. Let's get drastic with our plastic, 'cause its impact on the planet's not fantastic. Hope you don't think I'm being too bombastic. Oh, let's get drastic with our plastic. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I really am honored to be part of the whole Take Me Outside Day event, and I'm glad that many or maybe all of you are going to go outside tomorrow, maybe today, maybe every day. Getting outside is such a great thing. I remember we can all make a difference in this world by just even doing little things like not taking plastic we don't need, or reusing things as much as we can. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. C'était très le fun. And I hope we get to do it again sometime.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I think there's a lot to learn in terms of how we connect with the environment, and the lessons you can teach us through song. Thank you. Awesome. And to everyone else, we hope all the schools have an amazing Take Me Outside Day tomorrow, or whenever you celebrate it this week. We do have a short survey that we're going to send out, and if you fill out that survey, we have some great prizes. Remy's going to give away 5 of his CDs. Take Me Outside has prizes. Green Teacher has prizes. The Outdoor Learning Store has prizes. So Ian's putting that link in the chat now. We'll send that out to you guys in an email as well. But thank you. Saying hi to all the students across Canada, all the teachers as well. Thank you very much. And on behalf of Take Me Outside, Remy Rodden, Green Teacher, and the Outdoor Learning Store, Sebin, thank you. Have a great day.
Woo! Happy Take Me Outside Day.